No way. School hasn't even started yet. Good morning. We are now in the third try, which is my favorite try because it starts with 3, so it's like saying 3 twice. Okay. And we got a little music here. It's a longer intro. Have you heard this song before? You know what the name of the band is? It's got the best bass. I had a roommate that just loved playing this bass. Roundabout. Okay. Almost got killed in a roundabout this morning. Okay. I'm driving along and the truck goes out of control. I'm starting to head towards the left-hand ditch. I go, well, I don't want to do that. So I got back in the left lane. I look up. I go, there's a semi. And I go, if I hit that semi, people are going to be sad for a short period of time. Maybe not too long, but for a short period of time. And yeah, I could see it. Math teacher killed by semi on County Road 29. And then I went in the right lane, and the car behind me almost hit me, and then almost went in the right ditch, and then obviously everything turned out okay. So, we're doing a little review. This is the same as f of x equals 1/8 x cubed plus 3. And I don't like that pen. So let's go to this pen. So, Morgan, how do we figure out the area under that curve? Yeah, okay, we're not going to because that's an approximation because I want to know the exact area under the curve.
You take the integral.
Integral from what to what?
0 to 2.
Yeah, this is a 0. Very good. 0 to 2 of what?
1/8 x to the third.
1/8 x to the third plus 3 dx. Okay, perfect. Okay. And we could figure out what that is, right? Would everybody agree with that? Aaron, how would I do that?
Do you first plug 2 into that equation and then subtract it?
Not in this equation, no. Fundamental theorem of calculus says I am going to plug 2 into something, and I'm going to plug in 0 into something and subtract those two values. But what am I going to plug 2 into? You're not sure? Yes. What's the antiderivative?
Is it 1/16 x to the 4th?
I didn't get 1/16. I think. I agree x to the 4th.
1/32.
I get 1/32 because you got to multiply by 1/4, correct? Plus what?
3x.
3x. 0 to 2. Am I happy to see 0 here? Why? Why is 0 giving me such a warm feeling? Because when I plug it in, I'm going to get 0, right? I'm just going to subtract 0. So when I put 2 in here, okay, and raise to the 4th power, do you know what that is? Aaron? 16. So I get 16/32 plus, if I put 2 into here, what do I get? 6 minus 0, right? I should probably write an equal sign here. So what's my area?
6.5.
6.5. Beautiful. What's my height of this rectangle, Jeremiah? Well, how many rectangles do I have here? I'll show you one of them. Can I show you another one?
Sure.
They're skinny rectangles. You were lied to when you were taught geometry. They told you those were segments. They're rectangles because they're two-dimensional, right? So what is the height of each of those rectangles? Oh, how many of these could I draw, by the way?
Infinite.
An infinite number of them, right? Because this really means you're adding an infinite number of areas that are rectangles from 0 to 2, right? Okay? And so what's the height of each of those?
They're all different.
They're all different, correct. They're dependent upon what? N- Yes, in a roundabout way. Hence the song. Okay? But x gives me this height, which is what here? X gives me this height, which is what right here? X gives me this height, which is what right here? X goes into what?
The equation.
What is the name of the equation?
F of X.
F of x. Very good. Okay? Hannah, these babies are really thin, these rectangles. This is, how thick are they? What's their width? No. You know, if x is 1 here, or x is 1 right here, that's how wide x is here. This is how wide x, here x is 2. But I'm adding all the areas of these really skinny ones. Not sure? Yes, they are. Infinitesimally, Newton said. He used to call them infinitesimals. But Leibniz called them something else. Do you remember what we called them? It's south of, it's at the very end of Louisiana. South is left, if the end of Louisiana. The Mississippi enters it. Alligators live there. Now it's Gulf, but it's, yeah. The Mississippi enters the Gulf of Mexico and leaves a whole bunch of soil there. Delta, okay? Delta what? Delta x, awesome. Which is the same as dx. All right? So, the area, I got two functions here. I have f of x, and I have g of x. So I'm only looking at that space. I only want to know the area of that. So what's the height of, here's my rectangle, Nikita. See this right here? It's not as long as it used to be. It's been shortened. I like the word truncated because it sounds a little bit more violent than shortened. So what do you think this height is?
F of x minus 1.
F of x minus 1. Could I say that's the same as f of x minus g of x? Would everybody agree? Because g of x is 1? Alrighty. Ryan, what's the width of each of these rectangles?
Delta.
Thank you, Hannah. Okay? So what's my integral to figure out the area of this space, do you suppose?
The integral of f of x minus integral of g of x.
Okay, so I could say integral of f of x minus g of x, and it goes from 0 to 2. Okay, and so this is the integral from 0 to 2. F of x is 1/8 x to the 4th minus 3, or plus 3, sorry, minus 1. Does that look right, dx? Does that look right, Ryan?
Yes.
Because this is f of x, right? This is g of x, correct? Right here's x squared
Third.
cubed. Who wrote fourth? I did. This is f of x. This is g of x. Okay, so let's do a little bit of calculus. What is 3 minus 1, by the way, Elizabeth? 2. So I got 0 to 2, 1, 8, x to the third plus 2 dx. And so the antiderivative to this is what, Elizabeth?
16, 1 over 32 x
Plus
to 2x.
from 0 to 2, and again I'm happy with 0, so if I put 2 in there I get what? 16 over 32, 32 plus what? 4, and minus 0, and I get what? 4.5. And if you take a look, this is the part that was removed. Would you agree? And it's 2 this way, and it is 1 this way, and so we removed 2, correct? And when we remove something, we subtract something. So this is really 6.5 minus 2. Would you agree with that? Next page. Ooh. Megan, look at this f of x. They're longer. Here's the x-axis. I have a new function called h of x. So what's my height?
Is it f of x plus h of x?
Well, it's actually still going to be f of x minus h of x. Because h of x is negative, right? And when I subtract a negative, it's like adding, right? So I have 1/8 x cubed plus 3 minus a negative 0.5, right? Would you agree with that? Okay, which gives me 1/8 x cubed plus 3.5. Ellie, what's my width? Thank you, Hannah. Okay, what's my integral? No. Hillary.
The definite integral from, would it be -1?
0
Oh, 0.
to 2, because my rectangles
Oh, yeah.
start here at 0 and march all the way over here to 2,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
They're still going from left to right.
1/8 x to the third plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5. Because I already added the 0.5 dx,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Alrighty. Jonathan, you're going to tell me this is 1 over 32 x to the 4th, am I correct? Plus 3.5x, would you agree? Integrate from 0 to 2, and you're going to tell me you're going to get 16 over 32 plus what? Plus 7, which is what? 7.5. Well, this is really 2 this way, and this right here is really 0.5 this way, and we added, didn't we? We added area. Would you agree with that? So really this should be 6.5 plus 1, because when you add a rectangle that's 2 by a half, it's 1. Everybody getting that? This is area between curves. Again, craziness. It looks like a smile to me, a grin. Doesn't it to you? So what's the height of each of these?
F of x minus g of x.
F of x minus g of x, q of x. Q of x equals 1/8 x cubed plus 3 minus x squared minus 1. Would everybody see where the minus 1 came from? Big mistake, minus x squared plus 1. Right? You got to distribute the minus. So it's equal to 1/8 x cubed minus x squared plus 2. Would you agree with that, Tegan? That look algebraically correct? All right, what's the width, Corin? See, everybody doesn't know. They're saying, oh my God, he called her the wrong name. I have decided, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, to combine, I talked to Ms. DeBoer about this, who is Cora's connections teacher, about analyzing why you do that. She says, you're abbreviating Cora and Wyrens and calling her Corin. It's a shortcut you've made. Cora. Sorry. So what is the answer? You should have saw people look up going, he is insane. He's making up names. Okay, what's the integral? And I'm not going to ask you, I'm going to ask Sawyer. Say it what? Zero's here. Negative something? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Are you 100% you know what it is? How do you think we can figure out what it is? What? Plugging it, what do you mean plugging it in? Plugging it into the outlet? What am I going to plug into f of x? What? How would you, this is a problem from the AP exam. What are you going to do here? Can we call a friend? Who's right behind you? Allie, what are you going to do?
Take the integral of it. So like 1/8 x to the third minus x squared plus 2. Integral of that.
Yeah, well, okay. He said we're going to integrate this. I have no qualms that we're going to integrate this. Right? We need numbers here. Correct? And we got to figure out those numbers, correct? Because somewhere over here is A, and he's saying it's negative, and I agree. And somewhere over here is B, and I agree. How are we going to figure out what those numbers are? To what? What am I, okay, what am I entering? Don't I need it? Doesn't f of x give me y, and doesn't q of x give me y? What am I going to enter in? How are you going to figure that out? What am I asking you to figure out, Hannah?
You're asking us to figure out what A and B are.
Yeah, how do you, what am I, in the general term of algebra, which you've all taken, right? You took algebra and then you took advanced algebra, which is more advanced than algebra, hence the name advanced algebra.
Yes.
And this should be called advanced algebra?
Apparently so.
Yes. Okay? It should be 3 times.
Yeah.
Or advanced cubed algebra.
Yes.
Okay. How do you figure out what those spots are?
Look at the graph.
For the- They didn't see me. Oh, I don't know why it's not letting me get the picture. What? It's the what?
It's the endpoints on the graph.
It's the points of intersection, right? How do you figure out the points of intersection? You didn't talk about how to figure out where 2 curves intersect? Substitution? What am I going to substitute?
Could you solve for x?
How do you? What do you mean by solve for x?
Like, could you use algebra to solve like q of x for x and then plug it into f of x?
You want me to plug q of x into here to figure out the intersection point? So you want me to put x squared plus 1 in here, cube it, and then multiply it by an eighth, then add 3 to it, and then what am I going to do with it?
Find where 1/8 x to the third minus 2x plus 2 equals 0.
1/8 what?
1/8 x to the third
I got that.
minus x squared plus 2 equals 0.
Why? Why?
Because that's when the height would equal 0
Do they have the same y values?
at those points.
At here is the same. Do f and x have the same y values?
Yes.
So are you telling me that f of x equals q of x at those points?
Yes.
So I could write this: f of x equals q of x. I could say that 1/8 x cubed plus 3 equals x squared plus 1, right? And I would get this. Right? That's what you're doing algebraically? How do you do that problem? I could tell you how people do voodoo math and do that problem. They move the 2 over to this side. This is what they love to do. They say this voodooists believe this to be true. This, by the way, is wrong. Just so it's clear on the abyss, I am not advocating this. But this is what real voodooists do. And then they say, well, I don't know how to solve that. Oh, let's even make it even better. Let's make it x squared. And then this will be a 1. And then they'll tell me, well, x squared equals 2. So that means x equals plus or minus a negative square root of 2. And, or 1/8 x is equal to 1. So x equals 8. And they know it has to be negative. So they choose that. And they say, well, it's too small to be 8, so it must be, negative square root of 2, positive square root of 2. And they're wrong, because this is voodooist. How do you do this? How do you solve this 1/8 x cubed minus x squared plus 2 equals 0? Because you can't do that, because it's wrong, because there's an infinite number of numbers that you multiply together that give you a negative 2. Everybody understands that, right? But there aren't an infinite number of numbers that multiply together that give you 0. Because one of them's got to be 0. Hence the property of 0. That's why 0 is so positive and so powerful. So what do I do here? How are you going to do this problem when it's on the quiz? Yes, you would use the machine. So I go to the machine. And what I would say, Mr. Kruger, it's a cubic. It's not easy. So I go to y equals. And I get rid of everything. And I'm going to put in 0.125 x to the third power plus 3. And I'm going to put in x squared plus 1. I'm going to put in a standard window. Here's my cubic. The people that have a Casio were done like a long time ago. Right? There it is right there. Everybody get that? You didn't get it? You got it? All right. You know how everything I'm going to do? Can you tell me what to do next? Yeah, I'm looking for where they intersect. How am I going to do that? Okay, we need to know this, right? I'm going to go second, calc, and I'm going to go to intersect. And I'm going to get kind of close on the red line, press enter. You don't have to do this on a Casio. You just hit intersect, you get them. All right? You press enter, then you press enter again, and it gives you that. Right? So, what's my A? What's the matter? Yeah, I know. It's because of I'm on the abyss, and that's what it's having me do. I don't know. I know. Otherwise, you can't hear me, and I know it's kind of scary. Oh, I gotta do something here. Okay, what's my A? Negative 1.310885, correct? I'm going to show you something. I am not going to write that down. I am not going to memorize that. I'm going to let the machine memorize that. I'm going to go second quit, and I get my screen. And if you notice, right below, if you have a TI, right below second, you have something that says alpha. My alpha is green. And I have green letters of the alphabet. And I have one that says X. And so I'm going to press alpha X, and I'm just going to press enter. And notice, that's A, isn't it? The machine knows it. It stored it in X. It stored it in X. I'm going to store it in A, because I got to figure out another intersection. So how do you do that? So right here, you have STO. That stands for store. And I'm going to press it. And it says, you're going to put the answer somewhere. Guess what the answer is? Negative 1.31088473. I'm going to store that in A. So I'm going to press alpha again, and right below alpha is the letter A. And I'm going to press it. Lo and behold, I'm going to press enter. And now it's in A. So if I hit alpha A, it's there. If I press it again, it's there. If I press it again, it's there. Why do I choose A?
That's in the problem.
Wait, what's the symbol you do after the answer? What is that? Is that adding?
What's your question?
You push the store button.
Did
below
you
the
see
natural
the
line.
Did you see the store button?
No.
Did you watch the video? Oh, okay. Right here, there's store. And then I hit, I don't know, I don't know how to do it on a Casio.
She has a Casio, which is why.
Yeah, I'll do a Casio. I know it's different. I'll have to figure it out on a Casio. Okay? Tomorrow. Otherwise, you won't come back. It'll be like a cliffhanger. God, how do we do it on a Casio? Okay, now, I'm going to go back to my graph. Okay? I'm going to go second calc. I'm going to figure out the intersection. And I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to do this one. Enter, enter, enter. Guess what's in X now? 1.5784882. Well, mine's not as nice as yours. Okay. Mine's inferior. So I'm going to go second quit. And if I want alpha X, it's a different number. That's why I had to put the other one in A. Guess what I'm going to put this one in? Not in A, in B. So I'm going to hit store. And I'm going to go, oh, by the way, Casio people, it's even easier than this. You don't have to do all this stuff. Okay? I'll show you. Okay? I'm going to go alpha B, which is to the right of A. And I'm going to press that. Yes, ma'am. I know. I just learned this yesterday. I just figured this out yesterday.
Oh,
I'm sure there's a way you can clear everything. If you take out the batteries, turn them upside down, Put them back in, whip it around your head 4 times, take them back out, put them back in the right way. It might work.
You can always listen.
All right.
Math, yeah.
So I'm going to go to math.
Math.
I'm going to go to 9. Notice where I'm at.
Then you just put A, B in there.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here first. And I'm going to go to vars. And I'm going to choose y1 minus. I'm going to go back to vars. I'm going to choose y2. And then I got, because I got TI, I got to put an X in here. And then I'm going to go to A. And I'm going to go alpha A. And then I'm going to go up here and type in alpha B. I'm going to press enter. And it's perfect. Now I can round. And I'm going to write down for rounding 3.819. Does everybody understand why it's 9? So this was a negative 1.310. 9. I suppose I went a little bit too far, but what the heck. 1.578. 1.5784. And I get an area 3.819. Casio people will figure it out. Who's got a Casio? Bring your Casio up here. This is what I think you can do. You can't see this?
No, it's real dark.
Is that better? That better? So I think you can go to GSolve. I'm going to go here. Oh, because I got it too big.
Well, just zoom out a little. There you go.
Let's exit. Let's draw. Shift GSolve. Go to intersect. Press this.
Why intersect?
Oh, because I can't read intersect.
Just why you're not saying yourself.
That means intersect.
Yes.
Okay. So if I go to menu and I come over here to run and I go to alpha X, it's there. Okay. And so I'm going to, you should have a store button. Where's the store button? I think you do have a store button.
Would it be under options?
Could it be shift capture? Yeah, capture memory.
I don't know, I'm going to have to work on this one.
No, just take out the battery, spin it back down, spin it around your head 4 times, put it back in right side up.
know, maybe I do this.
You could ask the Abyss how to do it. This part though.
I'm gonna have to figure it out. I know how to do it on my other one. It's really, really easy. We'll get back to that. All right, next page. Yes, ma'am.
How'd you used to do it when you didn't know how to use the calculator?
What?
How'd you used to do those problems when you didn't know how to do it?
Like when you did
I wrote down all the digits. I wrote a negative 1.3 blah 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 blah, and I made sure I went 6 digits. Then I'll be correct to 3 digits. That's what I did. Okay. And I got to figure out the Casio one. All right, so here's the examples. I'm figuring out the area between the curve, and this is a typo right here. This should be X. I don't know where the M came from.
That's the very back page. We still have one more. It looks like this.
Like this?
Yeah. That one.
All right, what am I going to write here? And we are to Gavin. Give you a hint, dx. F of x minus q of x. Is that enough work that I have to show if I'm using my calculator? Yeah. If I'm using my calculator, that's enough work. Does everybody understand that? Now, I need to know an A and a B here. Figure out the A and the B. Everybody should be able to do that on their machine. Nick, do you need a machine? So, did anybody get an A and a B here? Jeremiah, did you get an A?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
About 1.44.
I think it's got to be negative.
Oh yeah, negative 1.44.
Negative 1.44. Is there a third decimal or no? It's a 0?
1.437.
Okay, I got to have it right to 3 decimal points. Okay, and what about my B?
1.580.
Okay, so did you compute an area?
I can't have a Casio.
Well, you can. You just need more information. Okay, the TI people are feeling superior. Don't worry. I'll put them in their place tomorrow. Area, Holland. Andy, area. Brady, area. Why? Bring that machine up here. It means nothing.
Maybe like 2. Didn't work. Oh, that's not the right equation.
Well, first of all, that's not how you use it. No, you're not. It's not like this is the first time we've done this. Math, 9. Okay, comes your function. So you got to go to vars. Did you put them in there?
I got those ones.
Here, put your machine back. It's not the machine.
Oh, it didn't work for last week.
What you have to put in, you have to put your equations in. If you're doing it on a TI and you have the integer function, seriously, you need to. You will not be able to do these. They expect that you know how to do this on the calculator.
I got the answer.
And what is it? It's like, what does it say when you go to Math 9 on a TI? On yours? Yeah, it says INT, doesn't it? Something like that? And then it's got parentheses. So you got to go to vars. And this is the upper one, I'm assuming, minus the lower one. Okay? Comma. And then you're going to put in whatever your A value is. Comma. Then your B value, comma. And then you got to put the letter X. Not the variable X. Okay? That will give you you have to be able to do that. Everybody has to be able to figure out an integral in their calculator. Yes, sir.
9.030.
Yeah, John's going to give it to me.
9.030.
9.30.
030.
Okay, everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Whoa.
There's three functions here. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Now, before you leave,